go. All right, let's start off with answering that question. Now, a minor pentatonic scale sounds like this. And what it's used for is to solo. So if a song's in A minor, you would use the A minor pentatonic scale to play a solo. Very, like, you know, especially rock music, Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, any music really, the minor pentatonic is the most used scale. 5 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they just keep repeating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. You could keep going if you had more frets. So that's the minor pentatonic. But if a song was in A major, you would have to use the A major pentatonic. If a song's in A major, and the A major pentatonic sounds like that. So the major pentatonic is more happy sounding, or more like a soul song, major blues song. If it's a major song, you'll use the... It's got that sound. But if it's a minor pentatonic, more of a minor thing. Let me know if you want those scales. I can send them to you. I can drop them in the chat, the minor and major pentatonic. And let me know if that explained your question. Okay, cool. I'll drop them across for you. I find, and I remember having this problem, and a lot of my students have this problem when you first start, is knowing which scale to play. Because a lot of the times it's very common for someone to play an A minor pentatonic scale, because that's the most common scale. You'll hear that. Most guitar players know that scale. But you can fall into the trap if a song's in A major and they play the A minor pentatonic scale. That doesn't sound good. You get that sound. You get those 2 notes together, and you can hear it's an ugly dissonance. So you want to make sure that if you're in A minor, make sure you play the minor pentatonic. If it's major, you play the major pentatonic. Like so. Okay, so everyone out there, give me a little feedback if you watched last week. If you want to build on what we did, we talked about campfire guitar, the basic chords. We had a look at Zombie, the song by Cranberries. And we had a little talk about fingerpicking. And I had a song prepared here, which I thought we could do, which would be a great one for fingerpicking. Building on last week would be awesome. Awesome, Jan. Don't be afraid to take the mute off to chat. I don't know what that means. Don't be afraid to take the mute off to chat. Oh, you mean... right. Ness is saying you can take your mic off mute if you want to talk to me that way. Either way is fine for me. If you want to stay in the chat. Or, yeah, if you're happy to... get on the mic, go for it. Building on last week. Okay, so I think the logical place to start would be Zombie. Did anyone have a go at that? Did you, do we know the chords? Does anyone need me to go over the chords again? Yes, had a crack, awesome. How did you go, Jen? Did you get it going? So that was it. That was the Zombie. And what I just wanted to show you this, because I think this really helps when you're learning, if you've got some sort of reference point to play it off. So see this on your screen now. And what I'll do, I'll record this playing and you'll be able to play along to it at home. So it's a great little backing track to play along to. And I find that because it's visual, you can then literally see, when I start playing this, you'll see what I mean. You'll see the cursor move along with the chords. You know exactly where it's at. So if I, just let me play this for you. So you can hear that going along. So G. Here's the D. And if I join in, one and two and three and four, and one and two and three and four, one and two and three and four, and one and two and three and four, one and two and three and four, and one and two and etc. Alright, so let me stop that. And what I'll do, I'll upload that so you'll be able to, I'll make that as a little practice track you can play along to at home. Now, and I'll just quickly show you this, if I can get myself to get onto the screen somehow. This is kind of going to work. Give me 5 seconds. Yeah, it's going to cut a bit off, but just so you can see me. So, this tablature, so we know, this here is saying that we strum the whole chord, then we hit just the E string, then we strum the whole chord, hit just the E string, strum the whole chord, etc. And that happens throughout the whole thing. And the reason we do that is because we want to create some dynamics. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and etc. etc. So I know we did go over this last week, so I won't bang on about it too much. But if you have got any more questions about it, just hit me up. But I hope that that backing track, once it's up, will help you to play along with it. You can literally see where you should be with the chords. And then the final step would be to get in with the song, put the song on and play along with it. The program I'm using is called Guitar Pro to do the tablatures. I use that so much for all my teaching. It's fantastic. It was cost a little bit, but it's fantastic. Really, really good program. Very, very good. And I use it quite a lot to learn stuff too. It's very, very good. Okay. So if you've got any more questions about those chords, like the E minor, C add 9, G, D, let me know. But let's move along to the finger picking. So we talked about this briefly last week, and what I figured would be a great song to do is Landslide. So Fleetwood Mac, Dixie Chicks do a version of it, and then obviously it blew up with that TikTok thing with the guy drinking the... Oh, I got that wrong, didn't I? That was Dreams. That was a different song. Same band. So this is what it sounds like. Etc. Has everybody got a capo? You don't need one for this, but to play along with the song in the proper key, we use the capo and we put the capo on the 3rd fret. So if you grab your capo, put it on the 3rd fret. And the first thing we're going to do is learn this picking pattern. Now, let me bring this up here. Okay, so if I jump across to this screen again, this will show us the tablature for this song. Now, if that all looks crazy to you, you don't know what it means, let me try and explain it. We've got the chords across the top. So we've got a C chord, then we've got a G chord, an A minor 7 chord, which I'll show you, and then a G chord. So 4 chords, and we talked about bars in music. So each bar's worth 4 beats. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, etc. So this is a great song to start with because the pattern is pretty much the exact same thing the whole way through the song. Okay, so let's look at this bar. So let's grab yourself a C chord. Now, once you've got your C chord, what this is telling us is to play the A string first, then the G string, then the D string, then the B string, then the C string, A string, G string, and D string. So this will be easier if I just show you this. So if, let's do this. So we've got the C chord here. Now what we want to do here is, 5 seconds. Okay, C chord. Grab yourself your C chord. Now let's get this right hand going. It's all about the right hand for this song. And we talked a little bit about the finger picking, where it should be like that type of thing. Some people say it looks like a hammer. Closed fist and your thumb sits on top. And what we're going to do is thumb hits the A string, and then our first finger grabs the G string there. So the A string and then the G string. They're the first two notes, and then we do the same thing, but we drop down a string. We play the D string and then the B string. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and A string, G string, D string, B string. And then basically you repeat that. So you go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But every second time you don't finish on the G string. So the amount of notes there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the 8th note is a rest. We don't play anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you could even do that without a chord. You don't even need your left hand. You can take your left hand off and just get the right hand going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How's going with that? Is anyone making that work? Am I going too fast? Too slow? That's good. That's good. It's good to hear. That's good. Just right. Awesome. Let me know if I'm going too fast or if I'm, or if you want me to move along. So once that's just going to repeat around and around. And I always bang on about it's so important to know get the count. Make sure you're counting it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Because every time that 1 comes around, we're going to be on a new chord, which would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, so let's add these chords in. So we got a C chord. So we do that for a bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Then when we move to the G chord, we actually don't need all the fingers on because we're only using the middle. We're not using the 2 outside strings. These 2 outside strings we don't need. So you can put the whole chord on, but it's just, for some reason, feels better to just put the 2 fingers on we need, like so. And then we do exactly the same pattern with the right hand. Now, the third chord is A minor 7. Now, an A minor 7 is, C already. An A minor 7 is the same as C, but you just take that finger off. That is an A minor 7 chord. Just those 2 fingers on. So that's your C chord. There's your A minor 7. And then we do that once. And then back to the G chord. And then that's our loop. C. Now, in the song, there is some more embellishments, little bits here and there that he does. But you could totally do a version of that on stage like that. But obviously where this is, you know, aimed at your first kind of finger-picking song. So just keep it that same pattern round and round. Note, it's not just that song you're learning. That finger picking pattern we can use for any song. Any song that uses those chords, you could change a song into that style. You know, like, what's a song? Say that a song strums like that, we could finger pick it. All with that same pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, etc., etc. So that is a great place to start for finger picking. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the third chord again is an A minor 7. And what an A minor 7 is the same as a C chord, but you just take that third finger off. So you've got the open, so this is your first string that you're hitting, open A string, and then a D, G, B, E. So we're just not using the big E string like a C chord. We don't play the big E string for the C chord. So A minor 7, that one there. How's that? We got that from Noah. A minor 7. C, G, A minor 7, G, round and round. Now there is more to that song, but I think that's, you know, get that going. And once again, I've got some, I've got this song, the whole song, printed out, which I'll, it's a PDF, I can drop it in the chat. And you can go on more. There's an extra chord in there, a G/F sharp. I don't think I'll get into that yet unless you want me to, but I think, you know, master that first. And then you could go on and learn the rest yourself, or you can always message me and ask me about it. I'm happy to help you out with that. So, finger picking, Landslide, Fleetwood Mac. It's a good one to start with. Now, yeah, once again, get in that chat. Let me know if there's something you need to know there, or anything at all. The next sort of logical step, say you've learning guitar, you've learnt your E minor, your G, your D, your C add 9. Next chords to add to that would be the A minor and the F chord. And it's kind of like when you first learn guitar, these chords are the go-tos. The F chord is the next chord that's a little bit trickier because it's a first chord where you have to do a little bit of a bar. You've probably heard about bar chords, which are like this. So you learn your campfire chords, which we know, and F chord's the next one to get into. Does everybody already know the F? Am I wasting time here? Does anybody know the F, or does anybody need to know the F? Okay, cool. Let's do it. So the F chord. So we know E minor, G, D, C add 9. C chord. There's our C chord. Now, if we play a C chord, you can do that there, which we were just using for Landslide. 3rd fret, 2nd fret, open, 1st fret. An F chord is very similar. These two fingers drop down a string. So you've got the 3rd fret on the D string, 2nd fret on the G, 1st fret on the B, and this is where it gets tricky because your first finger has to play both of these strings, the 1st fret on the B string and the high E string. So that's the first time you'll ever have to bar something. Barring because you're playing more than one string at once. Barring the 1st fret on those two strings and then like so. So that's an F chord. Now, I will note, full disclosure, when I play an F chord on stage, it's very rare actually I do that. That's the first F chord you learn. I'll play F, and most people play F like this. But it's a good skill to learn to be able to get that first finger to bar that. And there definitely is songs that need this F chord, but most of the time I'm playing this F chord. But this is, yep, stay on track. We want to know this F chord. Like so. Now, you know how we talked about campfire songs, right? Let me get this page up. Once you know that G, E minor, C add 9 and D, and we'll look at this today. If you actually type into Google, what songs can I play with G, E minor, C add 9 and D, you'll literally get, there's lists like everywhere. And you can go through that and say, oh, I want to learn that song. Just Google the chords and the lyrics to that song, and away you go. That's, that's the idea. So there's two main keys when we're learning the guitar. G, which is what we've been doing. G, E minor, C, and D. Now the other one, let me do this here, is the key of C. Now, the key of C is where the F chord comes in. And once again, there's a whole bunch of songs that use the chords in the key of C. So if I write these down, C, F, G, A minor, and I will add these ones as well. I'm going to share this with ya. So the key of C looks like this. So we need to know a C chord, an F chord, a G chord we already know because it's in the key of G. A minor we'll look at. D minor we need to learn. And the E minor we already know from the other key. Key of G, right? So let me drop that there in there while I'm at it. And once again, if you typed into Google how to play a song with, what songs can I play with C, G, A minor, and F, hundreds and hundreds of songs will come up. So I've just sent that as a screenshot, just so you've got that there, so you know what chords to learn. Now let's do this. So everyone knows the C chord. Is that correct? Let me know. If not, everyone knows the G chord. We got that one down. We've just touched on the F chord. And then the A minor chord. So I'll go over the A minor chord if we don't know it. And A minor is very much like a C, except we take our third finger off and put it down here onto the second fret of the G string. If you can see that. That there is A minor. So we want C, F, and A minor, and then G. C, F, A minor, and G. Now, because of the way we're doing this, I'm probably going to move along a bit quick, but the idea is, you get your F chord so you can play it, and then we move along. There was a song, another Fleetwood Mac song, but there's, plenty of songs we can do. But there's a great song, Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, which is literally just those two chords, F and G, the whole song. So it's a really good one just to get the F and the G going. And it would sound like this. Okay, so F and G, the whole song. Now, the final step to doing this is to add that strum in. Which is 1, 2, and 4 and. Down, down, up, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up. Let me jot this down and chuck it up there for you. Do Dreams. Fleetwood Mac. Has anyone got any songs they want to learn? Has anyone got any anything in particular? Songs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, F, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Or anything. It doesn't have to be a song. Riff, questions, yada yada. Let me know. There's the strum. Okay, so this is a little sheet of is the skateboard and cranberry juice. That's it. This is exactly it. The TikTok cranberry juice song. Now we can see this. And this, so I'm going to spend some time explaining this strumming because it's really important to understand this strumming pattern. Let me screenshot that so we can get back to here, and I'll drop this in the chat. Now, we talked about how music is in bars. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And if we can understand, this is like a really important lesson for strumming. I wish someone taught me this really early on. It's like, imagine you're walking down the street, your feet are going left, right, left, right, left, right, always, right? Your hand on the guitar is always going to do the same thing. It's always going to go down, up, down, up, down, up. Down, up, down, up. Always. No matter what song, it's always down, up, down, up. It just depends which ones we miss give us the rhythm of the song. So if we think 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and is what we always do, then we can just drop out what we need to get whatever the song is we're doing. But to start with, let's everyone do this. Just grab the strings, you get that. If you touch them really soft, you get that percussive sound. It's like a real soft percussive sound. And we want to do down, up, just repeatedly, and count along with it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm hope that, so let me know that much of it makes sense, right? Are we all following along there? Come back there. Yeah, very good. So then, what happens is there's two main strums you'll hear. There's a drive. A lot of people call it a driving strum because it sounds like it's driving forward, and that would be 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. So that means 1. You do the upstroke, but you miss it. You don't actually hit the strings. 1, miss, 2, miss, 3, and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So up to speed. 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. So open. 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. 1, 2. And that's a very common contemporary pop country type of a strum. And I'll write this out for you. But as long as you get that concept of it's just which one you miss, you're still literally doing the strum. And that strum tends to be pretty easy because it flows. Whereas this next strum, which is in Dreams and is very common, is a bit trickier because it doesn't just flow along. And what it is, like we had in the screen before, 1, miss, 2, and miss, and 4, and 1, miss, 2, and miss, and 4, and 1, 2, Most people find that a bit trickier when they first do it. It's a bit like that thing where you're supposed to be hard to rub your belly and your head at the same time. That kind of thing. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. So Dreams uses that strum. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. So let me and I can't stress this, super, super important. To understand that basic fundamentals of the strumming pattern on the right hand. Now, let's do this. So if we go, so if I put in every strum, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, like so, and that would be pattern 1. So for example, this isn't a great screen, but you get the idea. So in green there, that's what your right hand is always doing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Before Dreams, you can see down the bottom in white, that's the actual strum. So there's a gap there between the 1 and the 2 where you've still got that and. You still have to physically do the upstroke. You've just got to miss the strings. And that happens again where the 3 would be. The third beat is missing. Because you're still doing that. That's a downstroke. You just got to miss the strings. 1, miss, 2, and miss, and 4, and. So let me know if that is making a sense. But that is well worth really getting a good grasp of that. And I say to all my students to be able to just sit there. It might seem really simple, but it's so important just to be able to look at your hand and recognize that when you go down, you're doing 1. When you're coming up, you're doing an and. When you're going down, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. So then if you go ahead and Google a song and it says the strumming pattern is 1, 2, 3 and, you can work that out. You'd know that you'd go 1, 2, 3 and, 1, 2, 3 and. Or if it's 1 and 2, 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3. See the right hand, it's just chugging away. It never stops. Like a steam train. Like so. So definitely, that's a really good drill. If you really want to get good at strumming, is just do that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Like so. And then those two very, very common, the most common strummings are that driving one, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and then that second one, which was the 1, 2 and 4 and for Dreams. So it's kind of like Zombie's a really good song to very, very first song, and then Dreams is a bit tricky because the F chord is a trickier chord, and then you've got to get that change from F to G. Like so, like so. All right. So, what else? We got any? Did anyone ask about any songs in particular? Anything you're asking about? Not no in there. Let me know if there's anything in particular you want to look at. Any songs? Anything you're thinking about on the guitar? Like, how's that going? Any easy Paul Kelly songs? Yes. Yes, you gotta love some Paul Kelly. There's perfect one for that driving strum that we just did. So Two Adores, the first one that comes to mind, and it would sound like. Can you see what chords they are? Can you tell me? Can you tell me what chords I'm playing? Yeah, here's a little test for you. What chords were they? So this is the whole campfire guitar thing. I'll wait for your response. What chords were they? Yeah, G, D, C add 9 was the something one. The C add 9 chord, which was part of our campfire chords. So what is the one chord we haven't used yet out of the campfire chords? We've got G, D, C add 9. What was the other chord in the campfire chords? For 10 points, first person that gets it, you will win this glorious yellow pick. Oh, Jen, that is one of the chords, but it's not the one. What was the other one? Not A sus2. What was the other chord? Drum roll. E minor. There you go. 10 points to Jen. And that is what the other chord in that song that Dumb Things goes to. So probably the best way to do this is let me get the... I've got the sheet here for it. But, so you're going to go... I'll get the sheet in a second, but if you can practice this while I get the sheet. So G, D, C add 9 and G. And with the driving strum, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 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 they got married early, never had money, then they got laid off, they really hit the skid. If I jump forward, watch me walking out the door. Whole song is those 5 chords. As you will learn, the more and more you'll start to think, is there more chords? There obviously is, but there is so many chords we can do with just those. So many songs we can do with just those chords. So it is easy, but it's obviously takes some work to get the chord changes when you're first learning. That's the hardest bit, is getting the changes to move quick. But just practice. Paul Kelly, To Her Door. So let me just practice amongst yourselves while I find this song here. Open, browse. Paul Kelly. Not that one, this one. So let's export it. Okay. My videos. Let's drop this in the old chat ski, and then away you go. And if you can open that, I'm sure you've seen these. There's plenty of them on the internet. Ultimate Guitar. If you're looking for good versions of songs, Songster I think is the best site. Songster.com I think it is. Their stuff. Ultimate Guitar's hit and miss. Like sometimes, I don't know. It's like there's like 12-year-old kids putting up tabs or chord charts for songs, and a lot of the time they're not good. But Songster is really, really good. I'll drop a link in the chat that if you're looking, because once you get these chords moving and you know your chords, the key of G and the key of C, you can, with a capo, you can almost play any song in that campfire kind of vibe. And then obviously, you get into finger picking, riffs, lead guitar, scales, all that kind of stuff. But that, I think that's the idea behind what we're doing here at the moment, is to know those chords off by heart. That's what I need to do. Let me do that quick. So I'll put this in the chat again. So the chords we need to know. And it's a good habit to get into, think of them as what key they're in. So if it's in the key of G, we need to know a G chord, C, which is generally C add 9. You can play in the key of G, you can do a C chord, but C add 9's more common, but a C chord will work as well, just depends on the song. G, C add 9, E minor, and there's also an A minor and a B minor. I'll just put that there. We don't need to worry about the B minor yet. And then in the key of C, We want to know C, F, G, A minor. There's a D minor and an E minor. So there you go. So that's in there for you. Now, let us... Marty Schwartz is awesome. He's so good. There's so much great stuff out there. It's ridiculous. I guess most of the stuff I'm looking at... But for beginners, I think Marty Schwartz is really good. I can't say I can think of anyone else off the top of my head that does that type of thing. But yeah, he's totally awesome. Now, one thing... Okay. So, when I was playing that Paul Kelly song, I realised a big part of what you're doing on the guitar, to sound good on the guitar, it's all about this hand. This hand is far more important than this hand. This is your voice on the guitar. Like, the articulation, are we angry? Are we playing quiet? Are we whispering? What are we doing? It's all about this hand here. So with Paul Kelly, for example, that song, if I did every strum the same, it would sound like... It's a bit... Sounds like a bulldozer. There's not right much musicality to that. But if I go... It might be hard to pick up on what's happening there, or maybe not. But what's happening is we're putting an accent. So the first strum is soft. 1, 2. Then the second strum is our accent. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and... So I kind of feel like it's like short, long, half, 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 half is kind of how I think about it when I teach my students. Half, meaning you don't have to be precise every time. We don't actually want it to be the same every time. We want there to be a bit of difference, a bit of edges to it. We don't want exactly the same thing. We don't want it to sound robotic. But the idea is to hit just 3 bass strings for the first strum. And then for the second strum, that's where we want to hear the whole guitar. So half, full, and then half, 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 half. So when you're down, you're doing half the bass strings again, but on the way up, just the treble strings. On the way down, the bass strings. On the way up, the treble strings. It's almost like you split the guitar into 2 halves. You've got the 3 treble strings and the 3 bass strings. And the only time you strum all of them together is on that second strum. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and... Like so. Now, oh yeah, I put that in the chat, didn't I? So once it gets, that's just those 4 chords round and round, and then when you get to the chorus, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and... So same strum, just the chord order changes. E minor, D, C add 9, D. And notice how there's a bar of each chord, which is so common. You got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 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 etc., etc. So yeah, that's a great one. So that's in there for you in the chat. Let me know if you're having any particular issue with anything. Whether it's strumming or the picking. Is there anything happening with your right hand that's you're finding hard? Someone asked about tuning. Someone's just asked about tuning. But someone asked at the yeah, you got to find a song that you like to do. That is the first port of call. I teach a lot of primary school and high school students, and the amount of times I'll ask them, what songs do you like? And they just can't tell me. It's like you have to get their phone out and show me a Spotify list. But you got to learn songs, teach songs that the student wants to learn. Makes all the difference, for sure. What what's the best app for tuning? So I don't know what it's called. I have tried, I think, every single one in the world. I did hit record there, Ness. Where are you? Too many apps. This one. Go away, purchases. What's it called? Plus Add. I don't know if you can see that. That one. Plus Add Tuner P2U2. It's free. It works really, really good. The only quirk with this is you have to actually turn it on. Like, you put it on and then you've got to push the little button for it to actually work, which is kind of weird. But yeah, that one's really, really good. And with tuning, is this going to work? No, it's not going to work. If I can sit it there. I don't know if I can get this to work. A couple of things with tuning is... This isn't going to work. There we go. You always want to tune up to the note. So if you... So this is an E, right? E string. You can see that. Can I get closer? Or is that going? Here, there you go. So there's E. Oh, it's out of tune. So you always want to tune up to the notes. You can see that this needs to go tighter. So if I tighten the string, the needle will get closer to the center. And there we go. That's nice and in tune. But if I went too far, like that, I would want to make sure I loosen the string quite a lot to come down under the note. And then I want to tune back up to the note. The guitar will just hold tune better if you tune up to the note. Another thing with tuners, sometimes on the low string, they just can't handle the bass frequency, the low octave. The high strings is never an issue. So with the low E, sometimes a little trick, if you're having an issue with a tuner picking up the note, you can play the harmonic. And what the harmonic is on the 12th fret, like the actual fret, this silver fret, if you put your finger right over top of it and just rest your finger on the string, don't push the string down onto the fret, just rest on it and hit the string. You get that sound. It's a harmonic. And you can see I'm a little flat there. But sometimes that'll help. If you find the E string's not playing ball with the tuner, you can do that. And harmonics are fun to play when you are first starting out. Those sort of sounds. But yeah, that's a harmonic. Just give the string a good whack and just touch the string and you get that nice thing there. That's it. Now, yeah, there it is. Plus Add Tuner P2. A lot of students have that one where the it's got like a squiggly line and it moves along. It's green, leaves a green line. But I find that one's a bit of a pain. You have to pick each individual string, whereas this one's automatic. It'll just pick up what string you're on, and it's totally chromatic. So, and I play a lot of banjo and mandolin, so that it works really good for all of that. It works great for all the instruments. So it's a winner. So I've got about 10 minutes here. Has anyone got cello? Anything in particular they want to ask? So I will chop this video up and I'll put up that section on landslide if you want to get into that. The finger picking. I'll put up, what was the other one we did? The strumming for zombie, if you want to look into that. I'll make a little quick one for, what's it called? Dumb things as well. So you've got something to play along to with that. So what I'm would hope that I'm getting across is that if you can learn the chords in the key of G and in the key of C, you can play almost any song in that campfire style of guitar. And with that, and understanding that strumming pattern that we went over, or just the fundamentals of strumming, that your right hand is always going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, just depends on what the strum is. You know, for example, you know, or ska music or reggae music, all of that stuff is played on the upstroke. So if you just strum on the up, So if you counted the numbers but didn't play them, 1 and 2 and that's how you get that reggae sound. And if you understand that technique of being able to count along, it should make that pretty easy to pick up. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and like so. But I must admit, like, I'll do, 3-hour covers gigs at pubs and whatnot, and a lot of the time, far out, 90% of the time, the strum will either be the driving strum or the other strum, the down, down, up. Down, down, up. So get those two under wraps and then move on from there. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Someone at the very start asked about the pentatonic scale. The major and the minor. Are you using those? Are you improvising? What are you doing with the pentatonic scale? Let me know. Because that is a, let's say you're a student of mine and you've learnt the campfire guitar, you've been playing for a few years, and then you start dabbling in lead guitar. The pentatonic scale is the first scale we learn, and then what we do is start, as well as learning solos from other bands, we start improvising. So on YouTube, there's so much great stuff these days. Backing tracks. You put on a backing track in A minor, and you start just trying to make music with the pentatonic scale. Just trying to understand them and when to use them and practice. Yes, that is true. So with To Adore, what pentatonic scale would you use, Jen, over To Adore? What pentatonic scale would you use to play a solo over that? Let's say you're on stage at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre, or you're in the crowd and Paul sees you and he says, come up and play a lead guitar solo. What scale would you use? A minor. No! So G is the correct answer, Natasha, but that's the easy part and everyone gets that, but it's what comes after it that's important. Is it G major or G minor? Is it G major or G minor? That's why I won't be on stage anytime soon. Nah, not minor. Natasha is correct. 5,000 points. I need to get like an applause sound. Now, the easiest way to think of this is what's the main chord in the song? If it's G major, which it is in To Adore, that's the main chord of the song. It's the first chord of the song. This is a little bit, it doesn't always work like this, but you can, most of the time it will. So when you're beginning, this is a good way to do it. G major is the main chord, so you have to play a G major pentatonic scale. Zombie, for example, what's the main chord of Zombie? E minor, so you would play the E minor pentatonic scale. If a main chord of a song was D, you would play a D major pentatonic scale. So important to match up the major and minor. It is the most common mistake. You'll see people play an A minor scale over a song that's in A major, and it just doesn't feel right. Like I said earlier, you get that sound because that's the note from A major, that's the note from A minor, and together it's like putting tomato sauce on your chocolate ice cream. It's just nah. I want some sprinkles, like so. Okay. Any final questions? Anyone got questions on what they need to practice, or any suggestions for next week that you would like to know? Major, which numbered notes of the scale are they? Do you mean what notes are major in the scale? For the G pentatonic, well, if you play G major pentatonic, the third note is the major note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if you play G minor pentatonic, the second note is your minor note. They both have 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Minor, major. Like so. So 1 is your root note of the chord. 1, 2, passing note. 3, that's your major third, your major note. 4th note, which is part of your chord, and passing note. But then the minor's slightly different in that regard. Root note, minor third note, passing note, next note of the chord, passing note. I think, I'm not totally sure what you're asking, Natasha, but I think, did I explain that? Is that what you meant? For the G pentatonic, so notes 1, 3, 5, etc. Yeah, so for the major pentatonic, 1, 3, and 5, 1, 3, and 4 are the notes of your chord, whereas the minor pentatonic, 1, 2, and 4 are the notes of your chord. Like so. There's not really a number rule. Well, there kind of is. Like it's... But it goes off... The thing that's tricky, the pentatonic scale is 5 notes, but it's making its decisions off the full scale, which is 7 notes. So if you use the full scale, then it can make sense to what the number is to it. There is a formula to it, but we have to work off the full minor scale. But that might be a discussion for another time. So, before we finish up, any suggestions for next week? If you have got something in particular you want to learn, drop it in there, or drop it in the Facebook event page. Let me know if you want me to prep something, because it is hard for me not knowing, well, bar chords, yeah, Jen, that would be the next logical step. So today the F chord was kind of the next logical step to add that to your repertoire, and then yeah, let's do that. So next week we'll definitely get into bar chords. So this is going fast because it's condensed down to 4 weeks, but if a real life student would be, learn those basic chords, get a bunch of songs under our belt. Then we would get into, like add the F chord in like we've done. Then we'd add the bar chords in. We'd also get into some sort of riffs, like depending on the student, but, a very popular song to learn would be, what about... We start doing single notes, and then obviously we all know this one. And my job when I got students one-on-one is to work out something they want to play. So that's why I keep asking you. Let me know if there's any in particular. But Nirvana, any sort of rock stuff. There's plenty of great riffs. Anything. What's that's not it. All that sort of thing. Blister of the Sun's an awesome one for the riff. All right, for 10 points, it's in the key of G. What chords are there going to be in that song? What chords will be in Blister of the Sun? You tell me that. I'm sure. Yeah, if you know the chords in the key of G, you'll know what chords are in that song. And it has got that cool little riff, which we'll get into. G, E minor, D, and C. So those 4 chords, G, C, D, and E minor, are the most common chords in the key of G. G, C, D, E minor. If you know those 4 chords off by heart, you can play so many songs. G, like To Adore, Ed Sheeran's back catalogue. There's Wonderwall, like so many songs. So I would say to my students, I want you, when you come back next week, I want to say to you, play me an E minor chord, bang. Play me a G chord, bang. Play me a D chord, bang. Just know it completely off by heart. And then how long it takes you to be able to change them quickly, that just varies student to student. But that's the idea. Know them off by heart, be able to change them quickly, and then find some songs that you actually like and want to learn. Cool. So that was good. That was fun for me. So I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I sound like a broken record, but keep... the more you throw at me, the better this works. So I can know what to give ya. So, awesome. Well, have a glorious week. We didn't use the word L because we don't like that word, even though it gives you plenty of time to practice now, more so than ever. And I was saying to Ness, I have no problem with it. I'm on the Central Coast, and we're in L, but I'm more than happy to be in here, in my little room. So, yeah. Who's that I can hear? Ah, how you going? All right. Cool, righto. Well, I'll log off the meeting and I'll chat to you all soon. Have an awesome week. Yeah, practice hard. Adios, everyone.